Donald Trump's triumphant return to the Oval Office comes laden with expectations, controversies, and the unmistakable scent of overreach. While his confidence and ambition have always been his trademarks, they may now be sowing the seeds of an epic failure. From floating the fantastical idea of buying Canada, Greenland, and reclaiming the Panama Canal, to his grandiose plan to pass a single sweeping reconciliation bill addressing the border security, tax cuts, energy, and even the debt ceiling. Trump's second presidency risks being consumed by his penchant for biting off more than he can chew. The spectacle of overreach. Trump's inclination to focus on big-ticket, headline-grabbing ideas often ignores the realities of the governance. The ambitious reconciliation bill he champions is a prime example of a strategy that could collapse under its own weight. History shows that packaging contentious policies together increases the likelihood of alienating factions within his own party. With razor-thin margins in the House, the GOP cannot afford dissent. Yet his proposals promise to incite division among fiscal controversies, libertarians, and populists alike. Take, for instance, the idea of eliminating taxes on tips, a crowd-pleasing campaign promise that is economically unfeasible and would cost the government billions in revenue annually. Pair this with an expensive border security plan and the potential elimination of the debt ceiling, and the package becomes a fiscal nightmare that neither moderates nor conservatives can fully endorse. The domestic front. It's a house-divided scenario in the United States. Domestically, Trump's challenges extend beyond legislative hurdles. His support for pardoning Capitol rioters has deepened national polarization and alienated even some within his base. Meanwhile, Trump's controversial rhetoric and unilateral decision-making style show no signs of moderation. The Capitol riots continue to cast a long shadow, raising questions about his commitment to democratic norms and his ability to unite a fractured nation. Moreover, Trump's approval ratings remain vulnerable. While he commands a loyal following, his polarizing actions have eroded trust among independents and moderates. His failure to address key domestic issues such as healthcare, inflation, and infrastructure could exacerbate public discontent. On the international stage, Trump's fantastical musings about acquiring Canada and Greenland underscore his disregard for diplomatic norms. These ideas not only strain US alliances but also distract from urgent global challenges like the climate change, trade negotiations, and geopolitical tensions. His tariff-based economic plans, while rhetorically bold, lack clarity and risk alienating key trading partners. Leadership or chaos? This is one big question that everyone is asking. Trump's leadership style has always been marked by impulsiveness and a disdain for institutional constraints. His second stint appears poised to amplify these tendencies, with more loyalists surrounding him and fewer checks on his impulses. While this may embolden his agenda, it also raises the specter of governance by chaos, where ambitious plans are pursued with little regard for feasibility or long-term consequences. In his quest to leave a legacy as America's boldest president, Trump risks becoming its most spectacular cautionary tale. His second term, filled with grandiose promises and contentious priorities, may well unravel under the weight of its own contradictions. For a president who thrives on defying the odds, the greatest irony might be that his second act will not be undone by his opponents, but by his own overreach and inability to compromise. Trump's political theater may captivate his loyal audience, but the cost of his ambitious plans could be borne by the nation as a whole. If he fails to recalibrate his approach, History may remember his second term not as a triumphant encore, but as an epic failure of governance.
Don't miss out. Log on to oneindia.com for more updates.